university time, can't put comments on it.
All right, well, good evening, everybody. My name's right now is Sergeant Banuelos, but I'm also a cadet here at the detachment for UTSA.
And I'm Josh White. I'm the Cadet Command Sergeant Major for the UTSA ROTC program, as well as the Cadet Liaison for the SVA program.
Yeah, so what I guess our position and titles is being that liaison between the cadets and then also the Student Veterans Association, the chapter that we have here at UTSA. One of the programs that we started last semester was the Cadets and Vets Mentorship program, so that kind of just created an environment for veterans here at UTSA and then to kind of bridge the gap between a cadet and then what the actual military entails and any sort of tips and tricks that, you know, a future officer, future leader of America that it could benefit them. We had great success last semester, and we definitely want to keep this going on this semester. So we have new mentors, we have new mentees, and hopefully we keep the ball rolling with that.
Yeah, so if you're a mentor, if you would just introduce yourself to the cadets. Starting with Andy.
I'm Andy, prior Navy. I'm also the treasurer of SVA.
Mike.
Mike Rosser, retired chief, 27 years in the Air Force. That's pretty much me.
I'm Kat Walker. I'm actually on terminal leave. I retire officially on February 28th. I'm a retiring intelligence warrant officer from the Army.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so we're expecting more mentors. This is not it. So just so you know, we have about 11 mentors signed up right now, and 26 of you guys mentees. So the program is off to a shaky start because people aren't showing up, but that's fine. You guys are going to learn a lot this semester if you open your hearts and minds and you're a sponge. And we got some good experience. You know, these guys are volunteering their time for you to make your better leader. So, like I said, if you open your heart and mind and, you know, soak up what they're putting out there on the table for you, I think you guys will get a lot out of this. All right? You're going to get out what you put in, though, so remember that. If you want to touch on the dates as far as, we have mandatory dates for you guys to hang out. And then just kind of laid back. I know in March we're going to be doing Top Golf, so we'll be there. And it's going to be a relaxed setting where you guys can ask Mike questions, ask the CW3, ask her questions.
You call Cat works now.
You
I hung that up.
can ask Cat questions and you can kind of get some insight on, you know, this journey that you've chosen to embark on. For me, my mentor, he should be on his way. I invited him tonight as my older brother. He's a Master Sergeant, United States Air Force. And for me, he's saved me some headaches and heartaches by giving me some insight and knowledge about things I knew nothing about in the military and both in my personal life. So hopefully that's something you guys can get out of this, you know, some insight and guidance.
Yeah, so I mean, like you said, it is, as long as, you know, one of you kind of gets something and takes that active duty side, then, you know, our job is, you know, we did our job. As long as we, you know, touch on, like, mentorship-wise, then it's going to be perfect. Like I said, a lot of the dates have been already sent out with that link on the email that I sent you, so as long as you subscribe to that link, you should be getting all the events that pop up sporadically. A lot of the events are going to be, like I said, social events, so, I mean, it's just giving you the environment to be in a laid-back setting so that that mentorship kind of happens organically, and I said that in the email. That's when you most get the most out of your mentorship, or your mentoring or menteeing, is when it's organic. So I have a senior master sergeant who, you know, who's in my unit, and it's not about the awards that he won or anything like that, or you know, being put up for awards, quarterly awards, annual awards. It's just the work ethic that comes behind all that, and all the hard work that gets put behind all that, and that type of you know, kind of laying all that out and describing, hey, this is the type of leader you need to be, this is the type of work that you need to be doing. It's going to give you a pretty good foundation for when you actually hit, you know, first day active duty, and you should be all ears that first day, you know, talking to your NCOs, talking to your senior NCOs, and trying to figure out what your main purpose is and what your job is and how you can help out with that. But that's all I got.
Yep. So if you guys have any questions for us, get with us after the program, or I'll send out my email and phone number, so contact us, let us know if you guys need anything. Keep in mind those mandatory dates, you guys need to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of learning going on. So, it should be about 4 events until the end of the semester, so it's not too much to ask. They'll be on, most likely on the weekends, so it shouldn't be too much. Again, keep in mind that your mentors, they're sacrificing their time because they believe in you guys. So I stamped this quote on this program of how I saw things, and it's a quote by Abe Lincoln. It's, I'm a success today because I had someone who believed in me, and I didn't have the heart to let them down. So that's your mentor. They believe in you guys. They're here for a reason. That's why, because they believe in you. And so just have the heart not to let them down. Show up to the events. Show ready to learn. That's all I got.
What's an introduction?
Never mind, I'll take myself. Since he struggles a little bit with public speaking. Hey, good evening, guys. My name is Victor Gonzalez. I am the president for the Student Veteran Association, and I'm kind of the foster of seeing this program to fruition. So the idea of the program was essentially basically what they said, was to help draft you into kind of like the knowledge that you need to become the future leaders that you're about to become. As being a former NCO myself, I've seen officers make mistakes when they first come into the unit. And so I have the majority of your mentees, if they're, I think only a couple of them, if I'm not mistaken, were officers, or one officer. The majority are come from enlisted in different branches. So we're going to pair you up, Josh and Matt are going to pair you up to the mentor that you best feel fits what you're trying to accomplish, and make sure that that pairing is right. Now, I will say this because I want you guys to know that we care about you building that relationship with the mentor. If it doesn't work out, maybe your mentor and you are not exactly the fit that you need, go back and tell them. Communicate with, with Wyatt and Banuelos. Let them know what's going on in your programs, good, bad, or indifferent. That's their job. Their job is to make sure that your needs are addressed for not only the mentee, but the mentors as well. Okay. We are setting mandatory dates just for the simple fact that to hold both parties accountable to making sure and ensuring that program is being fostered the way it needs to. Talk to your mentors. They're here to help you completely 110%. We've done a lot of raving reviews last year, last semester on the relationships that was built. Some are still continuing on even after the program, and that's what we really hope is if you can build a relationship with your mentor to the point where you guys will continue to foster each other, help each other after the program is over, after the semester is over, that's phenomenal. Keep it up, okay? This is only going to benefit you. Myself, I've had mentors throughout my life, whether before my service, during my service, and after my service, and still now. And as well as I mentor others. So it's a give and take, and learn that experience, because you're going to be in situations to where you have that opportunity to mentor either a soldier, an NCO, or a fellow officer. Okay. In my illustrative experience, I took advice from everybody above, below, and around me. Okay. That's something that I ask you guys to make sure you pass on when you begin to put on your bars and you start your service. Is don't ever shut your ears off to something that's below you or around you. Okay. Because I can guarantee you, if you're always willing to learn from those above, below, and around you, you'll succeed even greater than a leader, as a leader. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, definitely hit those two up. I'll be checking periodically throughout the semester just to see how it's going. I might once in a while email you guys, say, hey, tell me what your experience is going on so far. And just give me a little quick update and check. Yes, you have 4 set meetings, right? Is it 4? Okay. But doesn't mean you guys have to stay in just the 4. I encourage you guys to meet more often, communicate more often. Whether it's phone, email, text, chat, smoke signal, I don't care. But communicate with your mentors, talk with them, and get to know them a little bit. Their experience is going to help you. Okay, you have a wealth of knowledge and experience in here. And the mentors that we've selected for you, and that are volunteered for this. So take advantage of a little bit of knowledge they have, because they're going to give you everything that they got. so give them your all as well. That's it for me. And I guess let me introduce, since they're falling behind back, that's okay. Let me introduce your PMS for the Army ROTC Major Steele. Sir, thank you for giving us the okay to work with your program and get this off to a good start.
Thanks, Victor. Yeah, so most of you know who I am. I met most of the mentors. I didn't meet you, Kat, you came in, but welcome. So first, I want to thank Victor and Cadet White and Cadet Banuelos and for inviting myself and Master on here today just to talk to you a few minutes, about mentorship. So I've been in the Army 20 years. So as you see, these mentors around you have been in their particular service more than 20 years. So they have a wealth of knowledge about the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, which is important too. And I imagine, like you said, within this program, you're going to have a lot of prior non-commissioned officers within their specific branch, which you don't, you have, some senior NCOs in our programs, but, we really don't, talk about, the everyday life or things you may be concerned about. So with this program in particular, what I think, would be important to focus on, first you mentioned it, you have to meet, you have to talk to each other for it to work. So I would encourage both the mentors and mentees, if that's, if that's not working, let, Victor or the cadets back here, the leadership, know so we can get it fixed on both ends. If you're meeting 4 times, that's great. You should probably meet more often. But some of the things I think, as I thought about, really what to talk about, what should you talk about with your mentor, right? So most of you going in as brand new second lieutenants probably don't know much about the Army or Air Force, right? Okay, do you know what you do during a PCS move? Do you even know what that is? Okay, do you know how to set up health care for your dependents, if you have any? Okay, do you know about educational opportunities within your particular services? How do you further your education, even though you're going to come out here with at least a bachelor's degree? My first year as a lieutenant, I went to night school, working on my master's degree. So those opportunities exist, right? Also, equally, or if not more important, is learning how you deal with soldiers, okay, sailors, airmen, Marines, okay. How do you deal with them as a brand new lieutenant, as a brand new leader? What are some of the challenges that you're going to face? The mentors that you're going to have advising you have probably seen it all and then some. So you can talk about different scenarios. What ifs? What if I have a soldier that can't pay his or her bills and can't eat? What do I do? Those things are going to happen, right? You're going to have those leadership challenges, and you should know where to reach out and go to be able to help your soldiers or airmen in this instance. The knowledge is here. How many of you going into the Army, how many of you know what a warrant officer does? So that's a gap.
I just know that they're experts at their own.
Sorry, I knew.
We are the best of both worlds, NCO and
I
officer.
only mention that because you have a warrant officer that's retiring. So maybe Kat's not your mentor, but if it were me, I'd go hunt Kat down and have her explain to me, how do you deal with warrant officers? Because you don't deal with them the same way that you do with officers. They are officers or enlisted soldiers. There's a certain way they like to be addressed. Some of them like to be called chief. Some of them really hate that. Okay, so if it were me, I'd want to know, well, what's the best way to approach it the first time I meet you? Should I call you Mrs. What's your last name?
Walker.
Should I call you Mrs. Walker or should I call you Chief? What's the first time I meet a warrant officer? What am I supposed to say to him, right? Those are things that you just don't think of, and you're going to find out real quick if they don't like what you call them. But it's just an example, okay? Just because you're not going in the Air Force for your Army cadets, it's good to talk to the chief here. Understand joint operations. Talk to the Navy, okay? Understand the different rank structure, okay? Understand when you see, you go to the Navy, you're not going to see, Lieutenant Colonel leaves or Major leaves on there. You have to look at their armband and figure out how many bands equals what, it gets confusing. They might be confused about us too sometimes, but those are things you can learn from throughout all the services that I'm sure we have represented here. Keep in mind that your mentors are giving up their own time. Many of them have served the entirety of their adult life in the service of this country. They're continuing their education, and they're continuing to serve. They want to serve you. They want you to be successful, right? Okay, so when you go to these meetings, don't just show up after class with no idea what you expect to accomplish out of that meeting. Okay, write you some questions down. Okay, I would encourage the mentors to do the same. Write a few topics down that if your cadet comes unprepared, you can just ask them some probing questions that you can talk with them about. But cadets, I would expect you. What are you curious about? What don't you don't know what you don't know, so write it down, ask those questions, and I think you'll get a lot out of it. I didn't have this kind of program when I was a cadet. So what I did have was the benefit of being prior service, but that still doesn't prepare you. Being a young specialist, young buck sergeant, doesn't prepare you for the leadership challenges you're going to face as a future officer. When you pin on those second lieutenant bars and you go to that unit, you're in charge, okay? They're not going to expect you to know everything, but they're going to expect you to try harder than anybody in that platoon, in that company, in that organization to learn, to get to where you're the subject matter experts. And you also want to instill that trust in them, okay? They have to trust that when the time comes, you're going to do what's required, look out for their well-being, take them into harm's way, and do everything within your power to bring them back safely. The mentors that we have represented here at UTSA have been there and done that, and they can help guide you along the way and prepare you and give you a leg up on your peers who don't have this opportunity or are not participating in this. So I think it's a great initiative. I know we piloted it last semester, got great feedback already just from what I'm hearing. You're telling me you have 30 cadets, upwards of 11 mentors signed up right now. I think that's far and beyond what you had last semester. So let's really see what we can get out of this program. Pass on to your peers, what you're getting out of it. And, I think, from the mentor side, maybe you have 11 now, but if they see that you really care, that they're making a difference, there's going to be word of mouth. They're going to talk about it. They're going to talk to their fellow veterans here at UTSA, and I think more will get involved and more will be excited about it. So, again, thank you for inviting us. I'm going to have Master Sergeant come up here, speak to you from a senior NCO, fixing to be a sergeant major, so he knows a lot about mentorship, much more than me, so I'll let him say a few words, but thanks again for having us, and thank you to the mentors for giving up your time for what I believe is a worthwhile cause.
Well, thanks, sir. Sure, thanks. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. It's very humbling to be able to come to this environment and speak to potential future officers and the veterans that I've already served, like Chief back there, warrant officer, 20 plus years. I think it's a very honorable thing to do. As a matter of fact, a few months ago I read an article talked about veterans struggling as they transition from military life, coming into especially this environment in university where they struggle to make connections because our society nowadays is very, very cut off and everybody's on phones and there's a lack of communication. And you'll see this as you become future officers, how you have to constantly be in communication in the environment that you're going to be stepping into here in the future. They know, we know, it's all about communication, talking to each other. And when you come to an environment like this, it ain't necessarily that way. You have professors that's lecturing you. And even for me, stepping out of a operational unit, coming to this environment as a senior military instructor was very culture shock for me. And I was just like, whoa, everybody's just kind of cut off in their own little world, own little bubble, just walking around. And I don't see people talking and socializing and doing the things that I'm used to and accustomed to in the military side of the house, especially the enlisted side of the house, because we're their worker bees if you don't know that. I mean, we make it happen. Officers direct us, NCOs, soldiers, airmen, Marines, sailors, seamen, they make it happen. Without them, we don't function as an organization. We don't get things done as an organization without those soldiers, airmen, Marines, and sailors doing what they do, and without your leadership. Like PMS said, I mean, you're going to walk into a situation right off the bat, day one, second lieutenant bars on your collar or chest, and everybody's going to think that you come in, you should already be able to be a leader, and they're going to expect you to know things, and you don't know anything. But that's the expectation. That's why we really harp, and hopefully these mentors here can reiterate that, emphasize the importance of being well prepared as you possibly can be here in this environment to help you understand what you're going to step into when you go operational. Okay? Because it's a whole different ballgame. I'm not trying to scare you, but I tell my class, this is it. This is all you're going to get. And then a few months from now, for some of you folks, you're going to be operational. You could be operational in a foreign country, like Pima said, depending on these soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen here left and right, and your life's in their hands and their life's in yours, just like that. So I think this is a great program. I think it's awesome that you guys took the initiative to even get this started, because I know a lot of veterans are looking to get back in this environment right here. And I hope when I get out that there's something like this where I can be a part of it, because veterans want to be a part of something, so that's what we're used to. We're used to being a part of something, we're used to serving and giving back, and this is a great opportunity for not just for you right here to receive, but for those veterans to give back to you what they've learned throughout their X amount of years of service. So get the word out. Tell people in this university, participate as much as you can, okay? Commitment, be committed to this cause. This is a great cause, not just for you, but for them. And I totally, 100% support this. That's why I'm here today. That's why the PMS is here today with you, to really, give this. And if you need more help on a weekend, I'm going to be here to help out the best of my ability. All right? I'm pretty sure with all of our experience together, we can get this really launching for this university, and hopefully it just spreads like a wildfire to the other universities, and other veterans catch on, and they get wind of it, and they're like, wow, man, UTSA started this program, they have the Veterans Initiative, and they're working with the cadets to get them, understanding how the military works, and it just starts spreading, and before you know it, this is a launching pad for the veterans and cadets joining together, experience versus the new folks coming in, just making those ties and networking. I'll give you a quick story real quick about the second lieutenant. I still talk to this gentleman to this day. His first time encountering the time back then was I was Sergeant First Class, E7 around, sitting at my desk, brand new second lieutenant walks in my office, and this guy was like 6'9", no joke, huge, little short me. He walks up, he looks at me, I'm sitting at my desk, and I said, sir, we new lieutenant. Oh, hey, well, come on in, sir. He told me, he goes, when I walked in, of course I had my drill sergeant hat back there, so he was like, oh man, I got a drill sergeant. I got a drill sergeant for platoon sergeant. And I sat him down, and right away, we established that connection. Teamwork. It wasn't, oh, you're a dumb second lieutenant, sit down, I know everything. I've never treated an officer that way, ever. And you know what? I've been successful because I've never done that. Because I gave them the same amount of respect that I expect them to give me. Mutual respect. Sat him down. I began to mentor him right away about what his responsibilities were and his roles were as a second lieutenant, as officer in the platoon and the company and our battalion. And started to feed into him right away. Not a negative way, but a very positive way, where he understood his role, my role, and how we work together as a team going forward to help improve our platoon, our company, and our battalion. Especially when we knew that we're going to be going downrange to Iraq within a year. So I wanted to build that relationship immediately, and that's what we did. And that guy in my almost 20 years of service has been by far the best lieutenant, friend to this day. As a matter of fact, I talked to him 2 weeks ago, invited me to his wedding in Maryland. So I'm going to do everything in my power to make that trip to go see him get married, because we've had that strong of a connection. And because we just showed each other mutual respect, I input the knowledge that I had, the knowledge that he gained from ROTC, and we made it work, and we had a darn good platoon. Probably the best, at least in Fort Hood, where I was stationed at. So it's important. Trust these individuals when they tell you, these veterans, when they tell you things, and listen. It don't really matter what branch they come. Every branch has its part and its role, and as a team, as a military, that's what makes our country great. Because every piece of the pies comes together when we need to, and you see how we take it to the enemy. You all see how we take it to the enemy. Okay? So learn, absorb, listen. A lot of listening. Not that the lieutenant he did. He didn't open his mouth and start thinking he knew it all. He was a college kid. He kept his mouth quiet. He was humble. He listened, absorbed everything I told him, And within 8 months, he was an XO of the company. 8 months, the XO, because he didn't come in here with a big bad attitude, humbled himself, listened to the NCO. They're not all gonna have great NCOs. I know that already. Not every NCO is perfect, but hopefully you got those good ones that will mentor you, and in return you start mentoring them. Because I said, sir, this is what you do. You're gonna sit down. You're gonna counsel me. This is what an officer does for a senior NCO. But it goes both ways. And then, of course, throughout our lower level leadership, our sergeants, E5s, and staff sergeants, and the young soldiers. Okay? So learn, listen, absorb, and then use what they've, things they've done good and bad, and learn with that. And just go into that unit, wherever unit may be, just ready to learn as much as you can and become a good, effective officers. Good, effective officers, they listen, they learn from their experiences. And they're able to excel like the BMSer. Cool?
Cool.
All right, any questions of me? Thank you again. I appreciate the invite. You two back there, sir, I appreciate it. And whatever help you need, I'll be more than glad to assist in any way I can.
Thank you, sir. Just give it a round of applause for this time.
For the leaders, again, I saw y'all publish an article, so keep publicizing this, get visibility on it. People like to throw money at stuff like this, so, you want to talk off and stuff, but you can also do some kind of, mentor-mentee retreats or something, who knows, people like to throw money at this stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking for the money too. Very at the main, whoever's at the door.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Sir, thank you so much.
I gotta go coach.
All right.
Youth fast.
Just real quick, out of the hands of the mentees, real quick. How many of you guys read development books on your own? Okay. The mentors, the ones that are in the back, hugging the wall. How many of y'all read development books, personal development books for yourself? Great. Give me two, if you can each give me one book that you have read recently, please, something that really helped you develop yourself personally.
The light switch.
Light switch by who?
Light switch. I can tell you.
Alright. Are she looking that up? What about you, Steve?
Can't remember who wrote it.
What book behind your yes?
Lincoln on Leadership, it's a great book.
Okay. I highly encourage, I'm sorry, what book did you read?
5 Love Languages.
Okay. Is that right?
It's personal development, it's about relationships.
Oh, awesome. Josh?
Leaders Eat Last, Simon Sinek.
Oh, that definitely going to be in the Army. So, just FYI, your soldiers always go first. So, I'd encourage you guys as mentees, you're young, you're absorbing knowledge at this time, develop yourself as a leader. There's a lot of John Maxwell series that I read personally, Leadership 101, Mentorship, can't remember all the ones off the top of my head. But there's a large series of very short reads, it's like that thick of a book, maybe you're like a few, like 60 pages. Incorporate those into your reading. I know we're at school and we read all our textbooks on the damn day, nobody wants to read extra shit. Get it. But it's going to help you develop more as a leader and be able to help those around you develop as well, okay? So I encourage you guys to do that. Eventually, I'll sit down with some of the mentors and we'll do a reading list that in case you guys ever want to hit up some really good books, okay? But just to echo real quickly about what the PMS said, you are definitely going to deal with situations they're going to be very unique to your service. From a soldier who can't feed his family because maybe of money issues. A soldier whose wife is leaving him or husband's leaving her, and their stress level went to 15. So their head's not in the game. A soldier who saw some shit down the range and needs some help. How are you going to help them as their officer and their leader? Okay? A soldier that gets injured under your call, under your command, how are you going to help them? What are you going to do to be there for them? Someone that wants to stay in the military, but yet they may be looking at being asked to get out. What are you going to do for them? And as officers, that's your role. So, and the mentors can help guide you with all that information because we've dealt with that all ourselves. Okay. So, and talk to the mentors. Just talk to them, see what information you can get them, socialize. Pizza's there, finish eating that up, please. Matt and Josh will be your point of contact moving forward. I will reach out just periodically, probably once throughout the semester just to check on you guys, myself. But you guys have any questions, issues, definitely get to them and they'll square you away. All right, they're all yours.
Again, thanks for coming, and eat up the pizza, I can take it home.